dear students, last class which we saw about introduction to database concept. We saw what is a database, then what are the real-time applications of database, like database management, what is database and what is database management system, which is a software tool, and by making use of that we'll be able to create a database, and that database can be supported many applications. So database which is nothing but which is an organized collection of tables which we call it as a database, and real-time applications which we saw like banking, education, railway reservation system, airline reservation system, human resource, manufacturing, like this real-time applications which we saw. Same manner we saw what are the components of database, like different users, programmer, then developer, designer, database programmer, and then database administrator who maintains a complete database. And same manner which we saw need of database management system, the advantages, then we saw the way how a model is designed, what is a model and what are the different types of models. Then we saw record based models again, hierarchical model, network model, then relational model and object model. Among that, which we are going to proceed in our example, that is relational database, relational data model. The most popular data model in DBMS is the relational model. In DBMS, the most popular data model is relational data model. It was designed in 1970s. It was introduced by E.F. Codd in 1970s. E.F. Codd in 1970s. Data is organized in two-dimensional tables. In relational data model, data is organized in two-dimensional tables, and the relationship maintained by storing a common field, and the relationship is maintained between the tables by storing a common field in both the tables, so that you'll be able to communicate with two different tables. Okay, now it is more scientific and stable model than hierarchical or network model, since there are no pointers involved with the records, and in case of any fault or error, these pointers may result in inconsistency among the records and lead to reduced data integrity, and data leads to reduced data integrity. So it was developed by E.F. Codd in the year 1970s. Okay, now you can see some of the characteristics of relational data model. So before getting into the characteristics, let's see. A relational database is a collective set of multiple data sets organized by tables. That is what which we said, two-dimensional tables, records and columns. Relational database establish a well-defined relationship between database tables. Tables communicate and share information which facilitates data searchability, organization and reporting. A relational database uses structured query language, which is a standard user application that provides an easy programming interface for database interaction. A relational database uses structured query language to communicate with database, to create a table, to insert the data into a table, and to retrieve the data. For that query processing, which we use SQL. For any RDBMS database software which uses the SQL is the standard query language. Okay, so that's why we call it as, which is an easy programming interface for database interaction. Now let's see. A relational model consists of collection of tables, each of which is assigned a unique name. That is, it represents the database as a collection of relations or tables. Table itself, which we call it as a collection of relationships or tables. Okay, now we'll see some of the characteristics of relational database model. Data is conceptually represented as an orderly arrangement of data into rows and columns. That's what which we saw in relational database definition. So which is organized into columns and rows termed as a relation. A relation. Each relation is represented as a table. Each relation is represented as a table. Columns described in a table are the attributes. The columns which we use in a table are called attributes that belong to an entity which is modeled as a table, modeled as a table. Every row in a table represents a single entity. Every row in a table is represented as a single entity. Okay. Now, all the values in a relation are scalar. That is, at any given row or column position, there is only one and only one value, which should not contain multiple values within a cell in a table. All operations are performed on the entire relation and the result is an entire relation. Okay, so these are some of the characteristics of relational database or data model. Advantages of relational data model, like simplest way which you can say, like simplicity, ease of data retrieval, easily you can retrieve the data from database. Data integrity, that is what referential integrity among tables which takes place, primary key and foreign key relationship. The common field whichever we said to make relationship between two tables, that common field in parent table which is called primary key and child table which is called foreign key. That's why which we call it as, which is easy to data integrity, that's concept which we call it as a referential integrity. Flexibility is which is more flexible to change the relation requirements, according to your requirement for your application, as you can change it. That's why we call it as which is more flexible. And then normalization, systematic method which follows relational database model. So relational model provides structural independence by using independent tables. Changes made in the table structure do not affect data access. Physical level, whatever you make changes. That's what three-tier architecture which we call it as: views, conceptual view, end users, top level, and next level is conceptual view, that is where logic which you perform among the data, and physical level, that is where memory, physical memory as well as structure of your tables, whatever you change which will not affect to your table data. It is represented in the form of tables, so it is simple and easier to understand. The concept easily you can understand, you can work with tables. Built-in query support based on SQL is provided by RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. Data organization and manipulation is easy and flexible and faster. Mathematical operations can be successfully carried out using RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. Now, we will see some of the terminologies related to database management system. Terminologies which you can see: relational database management terminologies. Okay, so terminologies like which you can see clearly, different terminologies. A relation, that is nothing but, which is also called as table. A relation or table is matrix like structure arranged in rows and columns. It has the following properties. The relation or a table which you can say, there are terminologies which can have like atomicity. Each column assigned a unique name and must have atomic value, indivisible. Okay, that is a value that cannot be further subdivided. No duplicity, no two rows of relation will be identical. That is, in any two rows, value in at least one column must be different. All items in a column are homogeneous. That is, same data type. So within one particular attribute, the data which it contains, it should be homogeneous data type. Same type of data which should be stored. Ordering of rows and columns is immaterial. Ordering of rows and columns is immaterial. Simplest way, we can say relation. A table storing logically related data. Data must be atomic in a cell. Okay, simplest way relation can be a table storing logically related data. That is what which we call it as a relation or a table. Data must be atomic in a cell. Then domain. It is collection of values from which the value is derived for a column. Particular attribute or column. Okay, which contains same set of values, that is called domain. That is what homogeneous data, same type of data which should contain one particular attribute or field or column, then that which we call it as domain. Then there is another one is called tuple or entity or record or row. These all the different names which we use for same concept. Like tuple is nothing but a row, which is nothing but an entity, or which is nothing but one record. Okay, rows of a table is called tuple or record. Okay, then attribute, an attribute or field or column, all are same. Again, three different ways which we call it as in database. Column of a table is called an attribute or field. Okay, then degree. Number of columns in a table. Total number of columns in a table is nothing but degree of the table or degree of that relation. Columns is nothing but another way which we call it as attributes. Okay, or fields. The total number of attributes in a table is nothing but a degree. Cardinality. Number of rows in a table. Number of rows. Total number of rows in a table is nothing but cardinality, which is also called records. Okay, so records are rows or tuples. Total number of tuples in a table is nothing but cardinality of that relation or that table. Okay, which we call it as. So now we can see simple example so that which you can understand that domain or cardinality relation. See here in this particular table which it contains, we can see clearly ID number, name, status, city, which you can see. Example S1, S2, S3, S4, S5. Okay. Same way name field which it contains names of students, then status. Okay. Total number, like we can treat this one as the attendance table. Status, then city or traveling, whatever it is, you can consider this particular table. Name, status, city. Okay, these all are called columns or attributes. Vertically, when you look at that, yes, name, status, city, all which we call it as an attribute or fields or columns. Okay, that is what complete all together which we call it as S relation. S relation. Okay, so now rows or tuples like S1, Anil, 2, J4. This altogether collection of these attributes values which we call it as a record, one record. So now in this table which contains there are 5 tuples or 5 records or 5 rows in this particular S relation, which we call it as those tuples. Altogether total number of rows which is called cardinality, and total number of columns, there are 4 columns in this particular S relation, that which we call it as degree of that S relation. Okay, then domain, another field is domain. Within one particular field, for example city is one attribute which contains city names, same type of data here, string type data, that together which we call it as domain. Same type of data, homogeneous data which should contain one particular attribute, that which we call it as domain. Okay, now let's go for key. Keys in database. Keys in database, which we call it as keys, are very important part of relational database. They allow us to identify an attribute. Keys will help us to identify an attribute or a set of attributes on the basis of which a table is identified. They are used to establish and identify relation between two or more tables. They also ensure that each record within a table can be uniquely identified by a combination one or more fields within a table. Okay, so key plays an important role in relational database. It is used for identifying unique rows from table and establishes relationship among tables on need, based on the need. Okay, now we'll see different types of keys. Different types of keys, like we can see unique key, primary key, candidate key, alternate key, foreign key. Okay, composite key, super key. These are the different types of keys which we uses in database. Unique key, primary key, candidate key, alternate key, foreign key, super key. Now we'll see one by one, and then we'll see the way how it can be made up that particular key. So primary key, once you say a primary key, primary is a column. Primary key is a column or set of columns in a table that uniquely identifies tuples, that is nothing but rows in that particular table. A primary key is an attribute or group of attributes that can uniquely identify tuples within the relation. Okay, now let's see. A primary key is a set of one or more attributes or fields which uniquely identifies a tuple or row in a table. Okay, so what exactly this primary key takes place? It is always unique in nature. The moment when you say in a table one particular attribute or field or column is a primary key, which itself we call it as unique key. It itself we call it as unique key. That's why it is always unique in nature. That is non-redundant data. Duplication cannot be taken place. So non-redundant, okay, which means one value cannot be repeated. It may be a string value or it may be a integer value, whatever it is. Only once in a table can be used in that particular column. And then that column is called primary key. It does not have duplicate values in a relation, which doesn't have any duplicate value in a relation. It arranges the table in its own order. Primary key helps us to arrange the data in its own order. It cannot be redeclared or left null, which cannot be redeclared. Primary key. One table can have only one primary key. Any table which you create in a database which can have only one primary key, but it can have n number of unique keys or n number of candidate keys. Okay, one table can have only one primary key. However, primary key can be a combination of one of or more than one field or more than one field. That is nothing but which is a one particular column itself. You can call it as a primary key, or group of columns, more than one column together, which you can specify primary key. But that both combination when you are using, both should be unique in the nature in that relation. Okay, for example, roll number along with admission number for student table, student details, if you are mentioning both roll number as well as admission number, then can be combined together and can be declared as a primary key in the relation student. So student table, suppose if you are defining two fields, one is roll number, another one is admission number. Either you can make use individually roll number as a primary key, or combination which you want to make use, that is roll number as well as admission number together, you want to make it as a primary key, as you can make it in that student relation. Okay, Same manner, candidate key. It is an attribute or set of attributes or keys participating for primary key to uniquely identify each record in the table. Each record in the table. So uniquely identify one particular field or column on the values that which we call it as candidate key. So each and every table which you create in a database which must have at least one candidate key, but it can have more than one candidate key, but at least single candidate key should have any table which you create in a database. Okay, now same manner, candidate key, alternate key. So out of all candidate keys, only one gets selected as primary key. Remaining keys are known as alternate or secondary keys. Suppose in a table, if you are having more than one candidate key, among those, one candidate key is represented as primary key and remaining all other candidate keys are called alternate keys in that particular table relation. Okay, so foreign key. Foreign keys are the columns of a table that points to the primary key of another table. They act as a cross-reference between tables. Foreign keys are the columns of a table that points to the primary key of another table. They act as a cross-reference between tables. Cross-reference between tables. Now let's see how we can understand with the example. You can see here employee table and salary table, two different tables were specified. In this case, you can see the two tables which are having the data clearly. Employee table is having employee ID, employee name, address, license number, passport number. Okay. Now salary table which is having employee ID, salary, month, year and amount. Okay, month and year and amount. This particular table is having child table which we call it as, and this is parent table. Okay, now here you can see employee ID is having 100, 101, 102. All are unique values. All are unique values. Each and every employee will be having unique ID number in an organization, any organization, that it can be represented as primary key, which can be represented as primary key. Okay, now we come to know primary key means which itself unique in the nature, which should contain unique values. Okay, which will not allow you duplicate values, which will not allow you duplicate values, which we learned. Duplicate value in the sense here, employee ID column first row 100, okay, 101, 102. Suppose if you are trying to use 100 again or 101 again or 102 again, which will not accept. If you have specified the constraint, primary key constraint, which will not accept the duplication. The value only once it can be used, which cannot be repeated again. Okay, that is what primary key which we call it as. Now same manner, which is primary key, the moment when you say which itself which is a unique key and which itself which is a candidate key. Okay, which itself it should satisfy the candidate key. First candidate key, then only which becomes primary key. Candidate key which is nothing but unique values. The field or column or attribute which contains unique values. Same manner, employee name, address and license number is. License number also here candidate key which you can see, which is having unique values. Same manner, passport number is, which is also having unique values. That's why in this particular employee table, employee ID, license number and passport number, three are called candidate keys. Representation was specified, which these three columns or attributes or fields are called candidate keys. Among those, one is represented as primary key and remaining two are called alternate key, which you can see the marked as alternate key. The candidate key, one table, it must have one candidate key and at least one candidate key, but it can have more than one candidate key also. Among those, only one candidate key is represented as primary key. Remaining all other keys are represented as alternate keys. Okay. Now you can see unique, these are called unique license number and passport number, unique key. Now candidate key, the moment when you say, which is also called as minimal super key. Candidate key, which is also called as minimal super key. Okay. Now, so the candidate key, which is not represented as primary key, are called alternate key. Are called alternate key. Then foreign key. Foreign key is the key which is represented as primary key in parent table and child table foreign key. Foreign key can have duplication values. Okay. So now the relationship which you want to make employee table and salary table here, which helps you referential integrity, which helps you to understand referential integrity. Okay. So that is what which you can see clearly in this salary table. Employee ID is common, but the values here which is specified, the values 100, 101, 102, again which is repeated 101, 100, 101, 102. So what happens here? Foreign key, whatever you represented, which accepts the multiple values. Okay, multiple values. But in parent table, same column or field which will not accept the duplication, that was represented as primary key. That primary key which becomes a reference for child table, that's why we call it as that reference foreign key. Foreign key. Okay. Now another one is called composite key, which you can see. Composite key, the moment when you say, which is something like, it is the one having combination of more than one attribute, which is one having combination of more than one attribute to unique records in a table. Okay, one attribute to unique records in a table. The attribute which are responsible for forming, the attribute which is responsible for forming the composite key must not be a key individually, but must not be a key individually. Okay. Now in this salary table, the composite key, which is also known as compound key, composite key is also called as compound key. In this, one particular attribute, when you look at itself, which doesn't have any key constraint, and which make uses the forming of key, then together which we call it as composite key. That fields month and year of salary and employee ID together. So this salary, month and year is not any key, and by this combining with employee ID together, which we call it as compound key or composite key. Compound key or composite key. Okay. So this is how the way how we can make use keys in database, which helps us to maintain the data in a table, database tables. Let's see another example, student table, which we will take to understand the same thing. So this student table, let's have a attributes or fields which you can define like student ID, name and age in this simple table. Okay, student ID, name and age in this table, which you can see SID is unique. SID column, which you can see 1, 2, 3, which is unique values, which means which is called unique key, which is also called candidate key, and that candidate key, at least one table one which should have one candidate key, and that key can be represented as primary key if it is only one candidate key. If it is more than one candidate key, any one key is represented as primary key, remaining all keys which we call it as alternate keys. Okay, now if you want to see the relationship student table, then this is subject table, second one, and this third one is marks table. So student table which is having student ID, name and age, and subject table which is having subject ID, subject name and teacher name. Okay, same way marks table is having student ID, subject ID and marks. Okay, now these three tables relationship which you want to make, student table and marks table, and subject table and marks table. This student ID of student table, here it is primary key. This one referencing in student marks table, that SID becomes foreign key. Foreign key. So foreign key values can have multiple values, which means same value can be repeated in foreign key. But whereas in primary key, duplication cannot be accepted. Same manner, when you want to make relationship with subject table with student marks table, yes, subject ID in subject table is primary key, same subject ID in student marks table is foreign key. Okay, so that is how relationship which you can make between these two tables. Altogether, which you can make this table to make result analysis by using key constraints, the way how you can store the data into your database tables. Same manner, now we come to know primary key and foreign key, then alternate key which you want to check. Yes, you can see the alternate key. For that, you just take it as this example: student ID, then roll number, name and email. So student ID is unique again, which is also called candidate key. Same manner, roll number, which is also called as unique in the nature, and which can be the moment when you say unique values in a column or attribute, then which we call it as candidate key. Okay, then name can have duplication, and email again unique email IDs for students, and which represents like unique in the nature, that's why which we call it as which is candidate key. Okay, now in this table, now in this table there are three candidate keys. Okay, three fields or three columns or three attributes which are represented as candidate keys. Among these three different candidate keys, which among only one can be represented as primary key. So here you can go for SID as primary key, and then roll number and email candidate keys which will be represented as alternate keys. Okay, there are three candidate keys in this particular table. Among those, one is represented primary key, and remaining the candidate key which is not represented as primary key, those candidate keys are called alternate keys in a table, in a relation. Okay, even though here student ID, roll number, email are qualified to become a primary key, but since SID is the primary key here which we choose, same manner, super key which you want to represent, super key, let's see, it is the one which is able to determine. So when you call it as, the key is called super key. Candidate key can be called as super key, primary key can be called as super key, candidate key, compound key, okay, foreign key, all together which any key which it is represented, that can be called as a super key. That's why candidate key is also called as minimal super key which we represented. Now it is the one which is able to determine any tuple or data entity from record table. It can be simple or composite. So composite key means the attribute or field or column which itself it's not represented as any key, but that particular attribute with the combination can create key, that key which we call it as composite key or compound key in that relation. Okay, the attributes which are responsible for forming the composite key must not be a key individually, must not be a key individually. Okay, so now the same SID is called super key, roll number is also called as super key, email. Okay, so like this, which we saw in that particular example, in the example again which you can see. Yes, see, primary key is called super key, candidate key is called super key, unique key is called super key. So candidate key, once you say, which is called super key, the candidate key which is not represented as primary key is called alternate key, which is nothing but alternate key is also super key. Okay, so that is how which we call it as different types of keys which we use in database tables, in database tables. So this keys concept implementing programs queries will be studied in like foreign key constraint, how we can make use, that can be studied in second year syllabus. Now anyways, basic key with example we will see while practicing MySQL tables, while practicing MySQL tables. Now we come to know relational database model, relational model and advantages of relational model, and what is a key, keys responsible in database tables, what are the different terminologies which we use related to relational database management system, that is a relation or a table, both are same, a domain, attribute or field or column or tuple, row or record or entity. Okay, altogether same manner. What is a degree? Degree is nothing but total number of attributes in that particular relation or table, which we call it as degree of that table. Cardinality, total number of records or tuples or rows in that particular table is called cardinality of the table. Let's see this table, employee table. Degree of this table is there are 5 columns or attributes, which we call it as 5 is the degree of employee table. Okay, same manner salary table, what's the degree of salary table? 3 attributes are there, which we call it as 3 is the degree of salary table relation or salary table. Same manner cardinality. So cardinality means total number of tuples. So in employee table there are 3 rows or 3 records or 3 tuples, 3 entities. Okay, row itself which is called an entity. Now altogether which we call it as that one is 3 records, means employee table cardinality is 3. Same manner salary table, salary table. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 rows in this particular salary table and cardinality of this table is 6. Okay, then I said now atomicity, atomic value, okay, or scalar value. Okay, for example employee id 100 comma 102, it cannot be used, only one value. That's why that same like employee name, only one name should contain that particular cell, then which we call it as atomic value or scalar value in that particular cell. See here, if I write it 1 comma 2, it is multiple values in that particular cell. Okay, which cannot be accepted. Relational database model means only one value, one particular cell. Same manner here, suppose if you are trying to use two names. Okay, so yes, which cannot be used, this is multiple values. Okay, so only one value in that particular cell, one cell should contain only one value, that value which we call it as atomic value or scalar value. That is what single value, we should contain single value, it should not be multiple values. Okay, so with that we'll conclude about relational data model and the terminologies which we use related to relational database model. Okay, and then keys which we use related to database RDBMS example. Now we will see further in our syllabus, which we are going to see. One of the RDBMS example is MySQL. Okay, SQL and MySQL. SQL is used for query language and MySQL is for software tool which we uses to design a database. That we will see further classes. So thank you.